Oh my god. Sam, are you practicing your typing skills?
He was.
You weren't?
It's so big over there, right? I just think
It's 11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock.
Please pass the pie.
Oh,
Good morning, Eliza and Alexis. Good morning, Ella. Good morning, Maverick. Good morning, Dax.
Yeah, put your fingers in there like that. Or put your fingers.
Good morning, Blake. You can. Good morning, Cooper. So as you know, we are starting Africa today. And as I was drawing one of the animals, I drew him pretty big. So we're likely going to need 2 backgrounds this week. Because there's so many animals that we can do in Africa. So I feel like we'll do Africa all week and likely need a second background. Because the one animal takes up, or at least on mine, took up quite a bit of room. Good morning, Peyton. I assume it's Peyton, and not Mrs. Corn. Good morning, Joss. Hey, Sam. You're in the background. All right. Oh, he knew. He knew. He saw me turn around and pick him up, and he ran away. Okay, go over somewhere else. My couch fence just fell down. I built a fence for my couch so the dogs don't get up on the couch. There's Brooks. Saying good morning. The couch fence fell down. Can you guys fix it? Thank you. See if you can sort of wrong way. You can see it in the background there. Right there. I made it so it goes on the couch. Couch fence. Okay. All right. Oops. So we're going to start Africa today. And we're going to start with our background. And like we've done in recent weeks, we start with very simple background. And my final, I only did pencil, except for the animals, so that I can erase if I need to. We're going to start with a line that's going to be about 1/3 of the way from the top. So if I just showed my paper like that, you can see I made 2 little marks about 1/3 of the way from the top. So then I'm going to draw that line in. And that will be our horizon line. And then there's some like lower mountains I put in here. I guess they'd probably be more like hills. And then some actual mountains in the background. And then I just put the sun here. I thought it would be fun to make it look like a sunrise over the mountains. And then we have these really cool trees. I didn't look at what they're called, but the leaves at the top sort of have the leaves sort of make it look like a flat mass shape, like that. It's hard to tell because I have all those pen marks in it. So I added one of these trees. I didn't draw it in. I didn't color it yet, just in case I want to erase or add a bird or something like that. So they have these. That's why they have the trees in African. I think I looked up African savanna. Okay. So again, if you want to go back and look at the background later, if you're just practicing your animals today. Okay. So our first African animal, which I know Maverick is super excited about, is our pangolin. Am I saying it right? Pangolin? It sort of sounds like it'd be related to the penguin, but it's not. Pangolin. So the pangolin is a mammal, and there's two different species that are found in Africa, so it fits right in. They're not that big. They're 12 to about 40 inches, so I guess 40 inches is big. So they could be pretty small, or they can get up to be just shy of 4 feet, well, about a little bit more, like 3.5 feet. And they're known for having their large keratin scales covering their skin. So what that means is keratin is what is our fingernails and our hair. So they have those really hard scales all over their skin, and they're the only breed of mammal that has them. So I thought that was a pretty cool fact. And the other thing they can do is they can roll up in a ball, sort of like a hedgehog, but they can roll up in a ball, and they have this, it looks like a kind of spiky spiral that would just sit on the ground that they do when they feel threatened to protect themselves from predators. So I thought that was really neat. It kind of just looks like some sort of rock or plant or something when it's really an animal just wrapped up. So I would definitely look that up when you get a chance. Google pangolin so you can see what they look like in real life, and you can see them all spiraled up. And they eat ants and termites, so just like our anteater the other day. And they're solitary animals, meaning they don't live together in groups or packs or colonies or anything like that. They generally live by themselves. Okay, so let's draw the pangolin. We got more paper. All right, so we're going to start with its face, and it has a pointy kind of snout. So we know it likes to eat ants, or it eats ants and termites, so it needs something long and pointy. I'm going to do his whole face first. All right, so then we're going to add a little spike area around its head. Then we're going to do his back. And the way you're going to do his back is you're going to draw a line, then come back in, almost like a feather. So it goes around, and then it kind of smooths out a little bit on the tail, and then comes back in like that. And then we'll come into the other underneath in a minute. All right, so then we're going to make a shape for his front foot. And it's, again, it's one of those I can't really explain. And then there's some claws that come out. I'm going to go ahead and color the claws in. Okay, we're going to come back and we're going to add more to that. But first we're going to make one of the scales here. And then a foot here that has claws coming out. Ooh, I like next week doing a coral reef. All right, so then we're going to give him some scales that are going to go under his belly like this. To another foot. And then another foot back here. And then under spikes that come reach to the tail. Good morning, Matthew and Morgan. And then we're going to add a whole bunch of scales to fill in this whole area. And start up by the neck, and then you can just layer them. I think in my drawing I kind of made them like zigzags like this. You can make them zigzags or you can make them separate scales. And then as it gets thinner, you make it smaller. And that's your pangolin. I made this a little too thick right here. I probably should have gone up a little bit now that I see it. And a pangolin is generally a brown tan color. Are you unplugging it after I just plugged it in? Okay, but now it's still, hold on, it's still attached to the TV. Okay. So I made mine like it would normally look brown. So I did a medium brown and I did a tan for his head and his feet. And then I did a little pink nose. But you can make it whatever you want. Okay. The next one was another request several times, and it is a venomous snake that's found in Africa, and it's actually the second largest venomous snake in the world. It can get up to 9 feet long. And even though the name has the word black in it, it's usually gray to a dark brown. And that is a black mamba. So we're doing the black mamba. And like I said, it's grayish to like a dark brown color, and it generally darkens with age. So as it gets older, it gets darker. I did mine I used my black pencil, but I did it kind of lightly, so it sort of looks gray. And they live on the ground, and they also live in trees. So if you're drawing this, you can draw them on the ground, or you can draw them in that tree, because we learned how to draw a snake in a tree by just drawing certain parts of it, and then you do a line, and then you do that little bump. Or you can put it on the ground. I did mine on the ground, but it's right by the tree, so it could crawl up the tree if you wanted to.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Here, buddy.
I'm in the middle of the game.
All right, so we're going to start with the head, and it's sort of like the snake is pointing up. So we start with the head. And then when I did this with my colored pencil, my pencil end was not sharp enough, so I kind of lost the eye, but that's where the eye would go. And if you want to make it look more evil, just...
Sam.
What?
Here, buddy. Yeah, here.
Playing in the game.
And then you're going to add the long sort of neck.
Chili and cheese.
And then it's going to go like this.
No chili and cheese. All right, listen. The chin, they send this thing with chili and cheese on it. We'll just take it off, okay? You eat it. It's delicious. Wait, come here, dude.
Okay, and then
Oh, remove cheese, remove chili. Gotcha. Add ketchup.
we're going to go around like this.
Right?
It's sort of bending around.
All right.
Then we're going to bring it underneath here. There's a little line here. You can see how it's sort of starting to wiggle around. And there's one more line here.
That's it.
And like this. I think that's right. So I made it sort of like it's not quite getting ready to attack, but sort of seeing what's going on. And I didn't add any scales or anything like that, but you could definitely, if you wanted to make it look scaly, you could maybe just like in patches. I didn't do that because it's sort of a skinny snake, and my pencil was, like I said, not very sharp. Our black mamba. Of course, we all know who had the nickname Black Mamba. If you know it, shout it out in the comments. Very important person to us in our house, for sure. See if we have any other fans of the Black Mamba. Not the snake, the person. Okay, and then we have one more. This is the one that I drew sort of big. But it's a big animal, so maybe it should be kind of big. And it is, and I can't remember if we did this one in the zoo. I don't think we did. But it is a rhinoceros. And rhinoceros means nose horned in Greek, which makes sense since it has two horns on its nose. And they're actually hunted for their horns or their tusks. So they're an endangered species. And they're an herbivore. So they eat a lot of leafy plant matter that they can find. So you might want to put like a little plant or something right around them so they can eat it. Not curry, good guess, but you're close. You're in the right sport. And I also wrote down that they have small brains, so not very bright. And they weigh more than a ton, so they're pretty large, so it makes sense that I would draw it large. And some species of rhinoceroses that live in Africa don't have front teeth. They rely on their lips to pull the foliage off it in. Curry is Steph Curry, and he plays for the Golden State Warriors in the NBA. It's not LeBron. I'll let you keep guessing.
There it is.
There it is. There it is, Dax. Nice job. Kobe. Kobe was the black mamba, and all of his, since he's retired, or once he retired, he started, or maybe while he was still playing, he started the Black Mamba, it's called the Basketball Academy. So all of his legacy is Black Mamba. So, good job. I think we are going to do a bat down the line, especially because I didn't even say that. Black Mambas eat birds, rodents, and bats. So I wanted to include a bat in our... All right, so we're going to start with our rhino. And of course they have rhinos at the Maryland Zoo. And back when I was there, when it was the Baltimore Zoo, we had an area, and it might still be called this, but in the African area where the rhinos and zebras are, it was called Base Camp Rhino. And it was a whole exhibit with different things from rhinoceros, like footprints and all kinds of stuff, and it also had ostrich eggs, and it was really neat. Maybe it was emu. I can't remember. I think it was ostrich. Okay, but we're not doing a bat yet. Right now it's Base Camp Rhino. Okay, so I'm going to start with the shape of the body. And again, it's one of those shapes that you can't really describe. So it starts with like the back of his head or back of his neck and bumps around. They're really lumpy. All right, so then we're going to draw in this back leg. This actually should be a little lower. I'm just realizing like that. And then it's going to have a tail. Then we'll add the second foot back here. Then we're going to give him a belly. And then let's give him his front feet. And then we're going to do the head, but first we're going to do his ears. Might have to fix some of these lines, looking a little awkward. And then let's see. And then we have 2 horns. All right. And then his eye. And then I'm going to mix some texture lines because they're really wrinkly and like their skin is super textured. And it's kind of these stress kind of marks on them. And then you have your rhino. So I made my rhino a typical rhino color, which is gray. You can make him whatever you want. Maybe look good to see like a nice blue, like a steel blue if you have that. I don't think I have a steel blue. I have no idea where the dogs are. I will call them while I show you my final. Hank and Ziggy! Hank and Ziggy! Here they come. So here's my final. It's really hard to see my pencil drawn background, but you can kind of see it there. Then I have my black mamba, my really big rhino, my pangolin down in the corner. Oh, Hank and Ziggy, where'd you go? You were starting to come in here. Yoo-hoo! Doggies! I do not know what happened to them. Sam, are they behind you?
No.
Hank! I don't know. Maybe they don't want to be found today. I'll try one more time. Hank! Come here! Come here! Hanky! Ziggy! Ziggy, come here! If I can get Ziggy to come. Come on, Zig! They're both staring at me. They're like, come on, guys! Well, that might be as much as you're going to get today. They are not interested in coming over here. They are too busy. All right. So we'll be back tomorrow at 11. And I said this Friday, but definitely this Friday is going to be earlier. It's going to be 10 o'clock. And I'll remind you throughout the week because I have a meeting at 10:45 that day. But tomorrow is 11. and we're going to continue with Africa. So I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully the dogs will cooperate. All right, bye.